Hello Pisces, and welcome to my channel. My name's Colette and my channel is Inspiring Life Changes, and I'm here today to do the reading for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Venus, Rising and Cusp energy of Pisces. If you don't know where those placements are, Pisces, and if you're interested in the astrology, there will be a free natal link in the description box down below for you to go and check that out for yourselves, as it always helps, I feel, to have a bigger picture, a bigger understanding of the energy that is taking place in your life in general. And this is a general read for you Pisces today. So also for any Pisces cross watchers out there who are in a relationship, want to be in a relationship, or have been involved with a Pisces, just remember that this reading could also be your story that is being told here. It doesn't necessarily have to be the person that you're watching the reading for. So Pisces, interesting energy to start off with, because whenever I do my readings, before I do them, I always clear the energy with my kind of chime things that I have, these two bells that are kind of on the end of a string like this basically, and I always use these to clear the energy of the cards. But today, and this has never happened before, they kind of were like this, but they were like going really quickly to and fro, backwards and forwards really quickly. Now usually one will be higher than the other and that's how they kind of hit each other. I just let them do their own thing basically. But today, like I was saying, there was this real kind of backwards and forwards, to and fro energy with them, and a real kind of like, I wouldn't say chaotic or frenetic energy, but there was something kind of quite fast about it. Like it was kind of quite like boof, 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 boof. Whereas sometimes they can be really quite slow and quite kind of gentle. The energy came through as quite kind of frenetic, I suppose. So anyway, let's get on with the actual reading, because it's kind of come through in the cards as well, which is why I'm bringing it into your reading right now. So the first card, I'm going to start off, actually I'm going to bring them both out together because they both came out together, was the Four of Cups and the High Priestess here. And the High Priestess is the energy of Pisces. It is that intuitive feeling, deeper knowing, deeper understanding about something. And this Four of Cups says at the bottom, it's saying mixed happiness. And there is these four cups here. And for some reason it's reminding me of that energy that I was talking about, this backwards and forwards energy. So this could have something to do with some situation in your life. It could have something to do with a person in your life, Pisces, but it seems like there's a lot of backwards and forwards thinking about it, or emotion about it, something that is making you. And another card that came out on the bottom of this deck here, sorry, before I forget, I'm jumping about all over the place, which maybe also has something to do with your energy here as well, but the Empress energy implies to me that this is something important. This is something to do with your inner wealth, your abundance, your happiness in general, in a way. Something that is really, it just comes through as something that's really important to you. And you're having to kind of go deeper into it. You're having to take a deeper dive, is how it feels at this time. Something that, it also feels like something that you're not quite sure about. You want to be. I get the feeling that you want to be. You want to be able to make a decision on it, or you want to know why you feel that way. And it's almost like you feel one way and then you jump into another emotion. So it's almost like your emotions are kind of, like I was saying, backwards and forwards. Like 1 minute you're feeling one way about it, and then something else comes along and changes that feeling for you. But the High Priestess is really kind of saying here that there needs to be a deeper trust in your own in your own feelings. It's kind of saying trust how you feel, but the problem is, Pisces, is you don't know how you feel because you've got both of these energies here of trust. It feels like trust and mistrust is kind of what's coming through, like trusting something and then not trusting it for some reason, bringing you happiness and then kind of like making you question that happiness. That's the energy that I'm picking up. But we're starting out with the Three of Pentacles, and this could have something to do with why all that energy is going on for you, because I feel as though this is about something, an offering that somebody has made to you, and there was like this stability, and now something else has come in. And so it's like what was stable doesn't feel stable anymore. But I also feel that this again is this kind of questioning. The Three of Pentacles is about adding to something. It's about making something more than it already is. It could be a family situation, it could be a friend situation, it could be about bringing somebody into your life. You don't know whether you should or you shouldn't. You don't know if you can trust them or not. It could be somebody returning into your life. Doesn't have to be a relationship. It could just be somebody returning in your life in general. And on the split, not on the split, on the bottom of the deck, sorry, you also have the Three of Wands here as well in reverse. So that's why it feels as though this could be somebody returning. Somebody coming back from the past, just kind of turning up unexpectedly possibly, because what it's making you do with this Judgment card here as well, it's kind of making you look at a certain situation that you need to lay to rest. It feels like the Judgment card for me is about calling up the ghosts. If you look closely here, I don't know if you can see, but actually that is a graveyard that this angel is kind of hovering over, and it's kind of the day of judgment, I suppose, is what it's expressing, that day of judgment, the final day of judgment. But it's also about releasing those old energies that are no longer supportive to you in order to build on something else. But it feels like this could be something that's kind of bringing things up to the surface, Pisces, that you may have not wanted to acknowledge, with the intuitive High Priestess energy here as well. That may also be taking you down into that more emotional realm, the Pisces realm, that Pisces doesn't necessarily always want to dive into, and just kind of skim the surface of it. But this is saying that there's something here that needs to be properly looked at, and there's a timer down here as well, which I find interesting as well. So another reason why I feel as though this is something to do with the past. It's like yeah, it just feels like the time, that time then is kind of coming back into your awareness now. It could be a work situation. Like I was saying, it could be, it's a general read, so it could be any situation. It could be family, friend, it could be a relationship, a work situation, all kinds, like a business situation. All kinds of situations are possible here. But what we have in our head, Pisces, is the Knight of Wands. And he's very closely studying, so I'm just messing about with my cards, they're getting a bit tatty. He's very closely studying this wand which is in his hand, and of course the wand is something that you manifest things with. If you think of the magician, the wand, the kind of like the magic that comes out of the wand, it's a creative energy. So for me here, it's kind of saying that there's something that needs to be looked at closely. But again, being the Knight, it could also be somebody who's coming in with this opportunity. And it feels as though it's trying to make something better. It's trying to improve the situation. It doesn't feel as though it's trying to cause any problems or any upheaval. But that's what it's doing by just being. It's not deliberately out to do that, but it's actually having a very deep emotional effect on you, Pisces, for whatever reason. It's stirring up a lot of... It feels like it's stirring up a lot of creativity within you, a lot of kind of like what ifs, what is possible, what could we do with this. But there's also, again, that element from yourself of like, can I trust it in some ways? And the Knight of Wands can be seen as a bit of a player, somebody who can be very like in and out. So this person could have been in and out of your life for a while. But they've not ever really left your... It feels as though they've never really left your psyche, shall we say. That it's been buried. But they stir up. When they do come back into your life, they stir up a lot of emotion within you. Or this situation is stirring up a lot of emotion in you. It could be something that you've thought about in the past. If it's a work situation, something that you've thought about but not necessarily done anything about. But again, it feels like this is somebody. This is somebody who's kind of brought in this idea, this offering with this Three of Pentacles. But it's really making you have to kind of go one way or the other with it. Like it's all or nothing kind of thing is what I'm getting. It's an all or nothing kind of situation, which you're having to kind of really study. It just feels like you're having to really study it. You're having to really kind of take your time about it. And the Knight of Wands doesn't necessarily, again with this time down here as well, the Knight of Wands is somebody who's very quick, passionate, wants answers, wants to know. So there's also within you as well the possibility here that you don't want to kind of jump into something too quickly. And we have the Seven of Cups here as well, which is moving away. It's an energy that has been around before, and this is confusion around an emotional situation or around this situation that is stirring up this confusion within you. This could have been how you were left last time. This kind of brings up a lot of confusion. So with this person kind of coming in and out, or this situation that comes in and out of your life, it feels like every time it leaves you very confused as to what it was all about. And it could be that it's something that comes in very quickly and possibly leaves just as quickly. But we have the Knight of Cups down here as well. So that's two knights that you have here. And the Knight of Cups is in the deeper, intuitive, emotional realm of the kind of not knowing, not being so aware of the energy in this place. the deeper subconscious, which has yet to rise up into the conscious awareness. The Knight of Cups is about how this is coming through, is not just about love as in one person to another, but also about what makes you happy. What is your emotional fulfillment? Because this is also to do with passion as well. So it feels as though you're kind of looking for emotional fulfillment in a situation. Not just something that's kind of fleeting. You don't want something that's fleeting. You want to know that there's going to be that stability and that long-lasting energy. Long-lasting, what's the word? It just came into my mind. Long-lasting, like established commitment, which is interesting because we do also have the Hierophant in this reading as well. So that's kind of where that's coming from, I think. But you also have the energy moving in is the Ace of Swords, which is an interesting energy. It's upright, and it feels to me as though this is you kind of opening up to, like, you want to know the truth about this. You want to know, you're going to start questioning things or the situation or the person that's involved here. You're going to really kind of take that focused approach to it. It feels to me like you're not going to take any nonsense. Like this is something that you're going to be very focused on, very kind of like, whereas it has been very kind of backwards and forwards, it's like the energy that's moving in is shifting that to and fro kind of thing. This is you being much more focused, much more laser-like, much more kind of like, I know what I want. With these two knights here, you've studied things, you've looked at it deeply, you've felt it, and now you've reached this point of honesty within yourself, and you're going to look for that same kind of honesty outside of yourself as well. It's like, if you can't be truthful about it, if you can't be honest about it, and you will know as well, you will know if this person or this situation is being honest. This person, family situation, like I said, it can be a mixture of things as well. But we do have the Hierophant here, and the Hierophant is that commitment. It is that that long term which you're looking for. And it's also come out with the King of Swords as well. Sorry, the King, not the Knight, the King of Swords. And I feel that this King of Swords has got this honest, open approach about him. There is this honesty. He's upright and he's open. It feels like he's very open to answering your questions or your queries or your also it feels as though this energy has kind of matured with the Hierophant energy here as well. Like they've learnt a lot. You may remember them more as this kind of knight energy. But there's something about them now which has become more knowledgeable. And it does feel as though it's something that you can trust here, Pisces, that you can trust what you're being told. You can trust whatever this person is expressing to you and offering you. It does feel as though there is this kind of deeper deeper level to this person. They're very intellectual, they're very much in their head, they're very kind of like they don't necessarily come across as somebody who's very emotional, very intellectual, very matter of fact, very kind of like, you know, just knowledgeable as well, and maturer is what I'm getting. Like this situation or this person has matured, it has developed over time. And the next card that we get here is the King of Cups as well. So that's 2 Knights and 2 Cups that you've got here. So it's quite a lot of masculine energy in this reading. Again, it doesn't have to be the king as in gender-wise. I'm just reading the cards because that's the energy that is there at this time. It's a very sure of itself energy is what's coming through here. But the King of Cups, and I feel that this is kind of part of the maturing element with this king here as well, is that they've become more connected to their inner emotional world, which of course you're very much connected to anyway, Pisces. Or if this is you that we're talking about here, Pisces, then you have become much more open and connected to your emotional world, where you may have kind of kept yourself distant in the past, but now you are kind of more, just keep getting the word kind of mature, like you've grown up, you've been through some situations that have kind of made you more aware of other people's feelings, other people's problems, or there's a forgiveness within the Judgment card as well. A forgiveness element, forgiveness of the situation, forgiveness of yourself. So that's kind of what's coming through here. But we do have, in your hopes and your fears, we have the 3 of Swords upside down, and we have the Ace of Wands upside down as well, both in reverse. The Ace, of course, is the same baton that he's holding in his hand here. But this is just hopes and fears. So it kind of stirs up again this kind of idea of something painful. Something painful, like something like when you allow yourself to feel deeply or passionately about something, it kind of feels like it's something that leads to this kind of more painful situation for you, Pisces. At least it has done in the past, which is possibly why you're still carrying this energy with you as well, which the Judgment card is kind of saying it's time to let go. Interestingly as well, I'm just seeing that with the 3 of Swords in reverse, it's actually creating the same kind of triangle energy here as well. This kind of sense of some kind of stability, but it's when something else comes in that stability kind of gets turned upside down, is kind of how I'm feeling it. For you on a personal level. Also, you may find this situation very demanding of you, of your time or your energy, effort, what you need to put into it. That may be how you're feeling as well, because this is just hopes and fears, but that can also be something, if you focus on that energy, then that's kind of what happens, what you materialize around you, is that belief. But there may be this fear here as well, from past, it feels like from past experience, past painful situations, that has just drained you. Because the Ace of Wands in reverse is kind of like a draining energy, where it's like when it's upright, it's very creative and passionate and driven and dynamic energy, and energy that needs to be channeled into something. It can also have a lot to do with sexual energy as well, the Ace of Batons. And it can also have something to do with pregnancy as well, but I'm not getting that feeling so much. Although for some of you it could be heartache over a lost pregnancy. That's not going to be a message for everybody. But there is this, with the Six of Pentacles in reverse, there is also this kind of uncompromising situation. I feel as though you're going to become quite kind of strong in yourself here, Pisces, and it's like you are not going to compromise on this. It's like you've made your mind up. You kind of have your own ideas here, and if these ideas are not incorporated into this, or if it's not allowed to, like if it's too one-sided, then it feels like you're not going to put your time and your energy and effort into it. So let's see what we have here. We've had two cards jump out, both in reverse. The Two of Discs is that kind of to and fro energy that I was talking about earlier. It's that backwards and forwards, not knowing, not quite certain about the events that are coming up. It can be also to do with kind of having to juggle a lot of different situations all at one time. I also see it as an energy of past and present as well, or future, like what you're leaving in the past and what you're taking into your future, where your future is heading. But it does feel like this to and fro energy. In this card, she's actually feeding two babies as well. So there's a lot of kind of having to take control in a way, having to kind of I was just looking at the other card that came out, which is the Shaman of Discs as well. And Shaman of Discs is the King of Pentacles, King of Earth. So it's 3 kings that are on the table now. So this is very much a kind of doing energy is what's coming through. This is very much a kind of practical, because the kings are quite practical. That's the thing about the kings, are they kind of doing in a practical kind of way energy. It's interesting as well because I'm seeing this same symbol here with these 2 coins or wheels, as I think they are, as the kind of similar symbol in the center of that, and also kind of radiating out of it as well. So you may feel that at this time, you may feel like you just can't take anything else on board, like you've already got a lot on your plate. And then this has come in as another offer of something. And you may feel as though you've already, like, you're doing enough as it is, possibly even spreading yourself too thin in this situation. You may also want to know kind of what's in it for you as well. The King of Pentacles is very much the kind of, how can you put it, the like when he's upright, he's very like magnanimous, he's very giving of his, like, his environment. He likes to share his things, and it's how he expresses himself is through the physical realm, the material, the things that he has around him. He wants to share it with people. That's his pleasure. He may be very kind of materialistically minded, but when he's upright, he is quite open to sharing. That it's like that's where he finds his most like with family and friends, and like throwing big parties and that kind of thing. He wants to kind of like involve everybody in his own good fortune. But when he's in reverse, there's this sense of kind of closing off to things. Like wanting to keep what is his, not being so willing to share. And there's also a defensive energy coming through here as well. You may be feeling defensive about this situation, Pisces. Like the need to shield yourself is also what's coming through here. Oh, sorry about that. I've got a jumper. So the Seven of Swords kind of speaks for itself in many ways. It's kind of keeping the fox out of the hen house. And this is over the top of the Knight of Wands here as well. So you may feel that the best thing to do, Pisces, is to keep what you may see as the fox out of the hen house. However that comes through, however that manifests for you in your situation. It feels like there is something that you don't feel is trustable. Possibly even that you feel that this person is kind of a sneaky kind of like they're smart. I mean, you've got the King of Swords here. This person is intellectual. They're smart. They know how to how can I put it? They know how to get themselves out of awkward situations by using their mind, but also their communication, the way they communicate. This is how they may have been in the past, possibly. like you see them as a bit of a, maybe even a bit of a charmer, but somebody who's very smart, who knows how to make the best of a bad situation, or somebody who's, I'm getting the word tricky. I don't know why. It's like somebody who's a bit tricky. Rather than not trustworthy, it's just that you question their motivation, you question their actions, you question why they do things the way they do them. And that may be what this is about as well, why you're really kind of studying this, why you're really kind of putting a lot of your time into thinking this through. We also have the Four of Swords that's come out with this as well. Both upright. And that's what I'm feeling, that this is you in this here kind of pyramid tent, kind of trying to work things out here, Pisces. This is you in deep thoughts, deep contemplative thought, not wanting to jump into the situation, giving it time. It could also be, for some of you as well, it could also be that this person has already done something like this. You are now kind of trying to work out how or why this happened. Why you trusted them. Or you've seen a side of them that you didn't realize they had. But what I'm getting most strongly is that this person is somebody who is very like quick-witted, quick thinking, okay, so I'm being told two things. Like, one, that this person could sell snow to an Eskimo, or an equivalent of a snowman, an Inuit as they are known, politically correctly these days. Basically they could sell anything to anybody. And the other one was literally they can charm themselves out of any situation. And you've seen that, is what I'm being told. It's like you've seen that happen. You've seen this situation before, or you feel as though you have. Over the top of the Seven of Cups, we have the Hangman in reverse. And this is the energy that's moving away. So this is, I feel, this was you having to make some kind of sacrifice here, or surrender, letting go of something here, which you didn't necessarily want to do, Pisces, because it's in reverse. But it was a situation that you had to walk away from. You had to let it go. You had to kind of again, it's that feeling of giving yourself some space in order to be able to think things through, to see things from a higher perspective. Almost like you saw things clearly at some point, and in doing so you had to leave that situation behind. You had to move away from it. And the work, it's kind of like you had to sacrifice a lot in doing so. It wasn't an easy situation, but it's part of seeing this kind of this fox in the hen house thing. It was kind of like seeing something possibly that happened, and you suddenly had like a clarity on it, like an insight, a kind of flash of understanding about where it was heading and where you were heading if you carried on down that same path with this person or in this situation. So you removed yourself from it, Pisces. You got away from it. You left it behind. But it kind of feels as though it's almost like in the process of returning. And you also have the Empress come out again. This time it's in reverse and it's over this Knight of Cups. So we had the Empress earlier. And I was saying then that it felt like something that was really important to you, something that really meant a lot to you. And so we have the same energy here again, only this time it's in reverse. And I feel as though this was something you felt as though you didn't mean a lot, is what's coming through from this situation with this Empress in reverse. That you may have had deeper feelings here, but it wasn't how you were respected, is what's coming through. You didn't feel like this, like the Empress, like how you should have been treated, how you should have been looked after, taken care of, made to feel special, made to feel as though you were an important, integral part of this person's life or this situation. And you needed more from it. Again, it feels like you needed more stability and more what's the word? Yeah, again, commitment, stability, commitment, like more, something more definite, something that was more, that wasn't up in the air. And that's how you felt. It left you hanging, literally, like you were just up in the air. And over the top of the Ace of Swords, we get the Priestess of Wands. So this is the Queen of Wands energy, and it's in reverse. And so the Queen of Wands is a bit like the Empress energy in many ways. She's very confident in herself when she's upright. She's very magnetic, and I feel as though this person is drawn to you. Or this situation is drawn to you. This kind of, it's like something that you need to to find your strength and your courage in order to be able to find your, I'm kind of getting integrity here, like your voice, your truth, and speak it. But with the Priestess of Wands in reverse, it kind of feels as though that's not easy for you to do. That's not an easy thing for you to do in this situation. Possibly because of the past, because of where you're coming from with this situation or this person. But something kind of makes you hesitate, something makes you hold back. Even though you want to, although I do feel as though you will speak your truth. And maybe you're needing to hold back. Maybe that's something else as well, is that you can't say everything that you really want to say, because everything that you really want to say is full of kind of real passion and real kind of like possibly, I don't want to say like, well, possibly anger as well. But more kind of that anger is coming from a place of kind of passion and hurt, and like it's heart energy. But heart energy, not so much as in like the idea of love. This is different. This is more to do with well, it feels more to do with having been hurt. Having been hurt and holding back, not expressing. That you've not maybe had the chance to express this before. So you may be waiting to come in with how you're really feeling about all of this, Pisces. Well, it stirs up deep within you. Because we have the Ten of Wands over the top of this King and Hierophant, and what I'm getting from that is with the Ten of Wands, it's almost like a situation that's too late. Like I'm seeing this as kind of like your tribe, like a new tribe, new people, people that you've kind of got around you now that maybe were not involved in that situation previously, but they were very supportive. You feel as though they were very, like they are there for you, and they'll help you through whatever your decision is. But there's also this sense, because it's a 10 as well, it's almost a sense of like, well, it's too late. It's too late. It's too little. It's too, like, you know, why not at the right time? And it feels like this sun here is kind of, it feels as though, like the sun is setting in the background there. And like there's something here that needs to be acknowledged and put to rest. We also have, interestingly, which I didn't see, but this one is also flipped over. We have the crone, which is the hermit in this deck as well. So it feels like with the Hierophant, like this person as I was saying, this person has kind of reached a place of maturity, and they're not who they were previously. They are much more trustworthy, and there is a sense of commitment here, but you are kind of, you've also gone through your own growth here as well. You've also gone through, like with the Hermit stage and with the Four of Swords here as well, kind of like remembering in a way the things that that have brought you to where you are, and the situation from the past that you had to leave, and the reasons why. Pick that up in a minute. So this crone energy is saying to me that you also have been on your own journey. You've also done a lot of kind of deep, especially here with this intuitive. It's kind of like you've reached a point of your own level of understanding things and coming to terms with things, and maybe this is also what this Judgment card is about as well, like saying this is your challenge now, is to lay this to rest once and for all, finally, to put it to rest. And there is this feeling of you just thinking it's too late, it's too late. But if you see here in this, yeah, that's interesting as well, because I see the sun going down and then the night here as well. So the sun's going down. It's like the sun is going down on that situation. It's like putting that situation in the past, putting it to rest, putting it to bed. And then you're kind of standing at this crossroads. It's like there's still... Okay. And there's this, like this energy here that's coming from this. It's almost like this is the past that is leaving. Is like you're finally letting that go. And then there's this little figure here. If you look closely, you can see this little figure on the top of this crossroads. And it's almost like this little figure is kind of, I don't know about begging or pleading with you, but they're kind of, whether it's just in your head or whether they're actually there and doing this, but there's this feeling of almost like it feels like an energetic detachment as well somehow, like as you're letting them go, they're kind of like shrinking. It's kind of how it's feeling. It's coming through like this sense of like as you're letting it all go, this person is actually feeling that. So there's kind of like this shrinking energy involved as well, almost like how can I put it, like it's just gonna disappear, like it's just like it's how it's coming through to me. Like they're just gonna, like that, just disappear, as in no longer be involved in your life. There's gonna be no more what's the word? Not control. It's not about control, but there's not going to be any more influence is the word I'm looking for. It's like that influence from this person is not going to be there anymore. Whether they're going to disappear from your life or not actually is not a definite. But it feels as though that influence that they've had on you, even when you walked away, there was still this attachment. There was still something that was pulling you into that space, mentally or emotionally. You were still kind of energetically still involved on some level. But it feels like now you're finally coming to the point of just letting that influence be. And you have the Sun of Discs over the top of the King of Cups. And Sun of Discs is an interesting card because it's aiming at the right thing. He's got his bow and arrow. And he's shooting at that target, at that bullseye. And it's like it's coming in closer. So it's almost as well, almost like as this energy leaves, as this energy kind of closes out and the influence is no longer there, it's like you're then, as we're saying, this kind of much more focused. Much more focused. Again, it doesn't necessarily mean that this situation is going to completely leave your life, or that you're going to walk away from the opportunity that it may bring you. It's just that you are no longer going to be as, again, the word kind of pliable, if that makes any sense. It's like a lot of kind of straight shooting. Even when there's all these trees in the way as well, it's like that arrow is going to find its target, is kind of how it's coming through to me here. That arrow is going to find its target, and that target may be this King of Cups, something that is going to give you a lot of emotional fulfillment. And it's going to fill you up with emotional, it's like emotional satisfaction is what I'm getting. Emotional satisfaction, knowing that you've made the right choice. Knowing that you've done the right thing is going to bring in that satisfaction, and also give you much more well, it also feels, as I was going to say, like a portal kind of opening up here as well. Like as one door is closing, it's like this energy that is building up. And you're going straight towards it. Yeah, straight shooting, and whether or not that also is to do with like this communication, this straight shooting, this kind of, but you're also again kind of holding back on that, like you're not going to rip it apart, if you know what I mean. It's like you're not going to destroy it, you're not going to you're not going to what's the word? Like, okay, like not burning bridges as such. Not burning bridges, even though the energy is going to become less influential, is basically how it feels. Like it's not going to have that same influence on you. It's like you are going to be standing more in your power. But you may also still be kind of trying to work out what that is, who you are even. It feels like something new is coming into your life here in a way, like this door is opening, this opportunity. Again, that's kind of how it's coming through, as an opportunity. You have the 5 of Discs over the top of your hopes and your fears, which is that kind of fear of being left out, having to do things on your own, not like having to struggle through difficult situations. But again, it is a hope and a fear rather than an actuality. But that is that underlying kind of worry, if you like, Pisces, that like you'll trust a situation and then you'll end up once again like possibly back where you were previously, having to kind of rebuild something from a new start, where you've not got the support, you've not got the help. And that's what I feel with this, feel is about also this not burning all your bridges, not burning your bridges somehow is important. And there is a card on the floor. Excuse me for 2 seconds while I find 2 cards on the floor. Ah, Chariot and the 2 of Cups. Interesting. So the Chariot is upright and it's over the top of this 6 of Pentacles, which I do feel is this lack of like not wanting to compromise, not, as I was saying again, it's kind of like the same kind of energy here as well, like knowing your strength, or kind of finding your part in it all. And the Chariot is about moving forward. It is about something like your life is going to start moving forward. Things are going to start moving in your favor again, if you like. You're going to start taking back your life, taking the reins in your hand, realizing that you are the one that is controlling your life. You are the one who has the reins to do what you want with your life, to take you where you want to go. That you're in control, you're in charge, nobody else. And it came out with the 2 of Cups in reverse as well. So it does feel, the 2 of Cups in reverse, that this could have been a situation, well, this is coming in, this is what's coming into your life. This is like the possible outcome. It's not a definite outcome. because nothing is ever truly definite due to our actions and our free will. But it feels to me with this Two of Cups in reverse like you're not really into the idea of teamwork or being involved with another at this time, Pisces. It's almost like you just want to keep things simple for yourself. It's like now that you've kind of got this back in your life, like this idea of knowing where you're going, moving forward, yeah, taking back control, being the one in charge. This Two of Cups situation feels like you're not, again, over the top of this Six as well. It's like you're not willing to compromise on anything at this time. And sometimes that's okay. You know, we don't always have to compromise. If that compromise doesn't feel fair, or if that compromise doesn't feel like it is a compromise, you know, I mean, it may not be a compromise if you're having to compromise for something that you're not gaining anything from, then that isn't a compromise. That's more to do with like sacrifice, again, this kind of energy here. So that may be what's kind of stirring that up as well, is that you're not feeling like you are going to benefit from being involved in a situation. So you're going to kind of keep yourself in the driver's seat, is how it feels. It's like, this is my life and I'm going to do it the way I want to do it, is kind of how it's coming through here. So let's see what the light angels, sorry, excuse me, the light angels would like to say to you here. And then we'll finish it off with a keeper of the light as well. That's a lot of light coming out there, not reading all of them. They've got a lot to say, Pisces. So they're saying synchronicity, light, vulnerability, and Archangel Uriel. Okay, so what we have here, there is no such thing as chance in our incredible universe. The coincidences and synchronicities are carefully orchestrated by our guides and angels, so recognize them as the hand of spirit. I also think that they're organized by us as well. I don't think it's just angels and spirit guiding us, or our guides. We do also play a part in this as well, by what we give out. So rejoice when you notice them, for they are the angel's message to you that you are on the right path. Which is interesting, because that was kind of what was coming through here, and also with this new path opening up down here as well, as that influence leaves, because of this kind of signpost. So start to expect them and look for them. Be aware that there is a divine reason behind them, and consider what the message or lesson is. Synchronicity is also a reminder to you that all things happen in divine timing. So the affirmation here is, all things happen in perfect timing. And that's, again, that's interesting, because that was something that I was talking about earlier with this card as well, with timing, to do with something to do with time. So maybe it's also saying that, you know, that time wasn't the right time. but time changes. People change, situations change. So light illuminates darkness and gloom, bringing hope and inspiration. Ask the angels to fill you with more light, for it contains spiritual information and knowledge. These are the keys to the universe and bring love and peace, as well as unlocking the wisdom within you. As your light becomes stronger and clearer, you will find clarity and purpose. You will radiate brightly and become a beacon, reminding others of the divine help available. Angel wisdom suggests you ask the angels to ignite and strengthen the divine flame within you. Why do I keep dropping everything today? What's going on? I keep dropping things. Stop it. I hope that's not too glary. It probably is. That light is so bright, especially when it gets darker outside. As it gets darker, that light glares even more. So, vulnerability. Only the brave and open-hearted dare to allow themselves to be vulnerable. For it requires courage to take down all walls and expose your humanness. Your angel guidance is to become aware of your defense mechanisms. That's kind of something I was picking up on earlier, was the defense. And kind of coming from this energy here. Your defense mechanisms which keep you separate from others and the divine. Ask your angels to help you dissolve your masks and barriers so that your fragile true self can emerge like a butterfly from its cocoon. That's something else which is in this card as well. Is it this card? Oh, maybe not. I thought there was a butterfly in that one, but there isn't. Okay, so the reward is freedom, love, and a sense of inner safety. So dare to be vulnerable and open. Vulnerability is my strength. And lastly, we have Archangel Uriel. And Archangel Uriel works on the ruby ray, which is made up of purple and gold. It is the ray of wisdom and spirituality. You are blessed to attract this angel card, for he will bring you serenity, love, tranquility, and peace. You, in your turn, are invited to spread these beautiful qualities to others. Connecting with Archangel Uriel will enable you to aspire to oneness with all humanity. This is a high state of grace, which will bring you freedom and joy. Visualize yourself in a purple and golden cloak and invoke Archangel Uriel's help to raise your consciousness. I am one with everyone in peace and serenity. And I'm just going to quickly have a look at the angel script here as well for the Angel Uriel. That's if he's in here. There we go. So Uriel is a gentle... Oh, that's not Uriel, sorry, that's Uriel. Maybe Uriel's not in here. No. So it does talk about Uriel, but that's with a in front, so it's kind of the same, but it's the feminine version. And it's a gentle mother who nurtures us with care and tenderness and watches over the soft cradle of the manifest world. The kingdom exists in a delicate balance, moving between life and death. It could also have something to do with this energy here as well. Delicate balance between things. Creation and decay. Again, it's that backwards and forwards energy. Every creature and planet is nurtured by the invisible mother, who lovingly encourages growth. When life is threatened, this tenderness heals and repairs, persistent in the knowledge that love can mend all hurts. The human heart could be strong, but sometimes we lose sight of the capacity to give and receive tenderness. We engage our thoughts with the desire for truth and enlightenment, hoping that insight will come to us if we work inwardly on our own shortcomings. We are all children of the universe, and while we should be concerned with unfolding our individual purposes, the universe has an overarching purpose. Oh, I have problems with that word. The creative intelligence which established the kingdom seeks to bring it to perfection. Uriel's role is to gently but firmly bring back the lost sheep, to pacify the lion, and to soothe the troubled hearts of all who suffer. If we let go of our guilt, of our resentments, of the sadness, which I think is this energy here, I was talking about this forgiveness, of the sadness which we carry like a load on our shoulders, we will feel the tenderness which Uriel offers, and our tears will be washed away. So that could have something to do with this Four of Cups as well that we started the reading with earlier for you Pisces, that kind of emotional realm, also with the High Priestess energy there as well. It's like you have been in this kind of high emotional energy, which could have brought on some tears, releasing energy, needing to release and let something go here. So what do the angels, the seekers of light cards have to say? Oh, no, too many. I'll take this one, which is Freya, which is saying phases and cycles. There is a beginning within every ending. Illusions are revealed and released. Seems quite apt. As I was saying, this kind of door opening, endings and beginnings is what was coming through here for me, this kind of portal into something new. With your Chariot as well, which you're kind of getting ready to drive it right into that center point. Almost like a realization of like, now I know exactly what it is that I want. Now that I know what I don't want. So Freya means lady. She's the Norse goddess of the moon and love. She is the twin flame of Odin and a warrior goddess who offers deep spiritual and physical protection to those who call on her. She will stand before you with her shield and spear, which is interesting because I also said something here about you wanting to shield yourself, keeping you safe from harm. She works closely with moon energy and helps us recognize that our life is a cycle that is always changing. She herself is the maiden, the mother, and the crone. Aspect of all women, and guides them to see the wisdom these cycles bring. We all go through phases and cycles of growth, and Freya is the energy that supports them. She has a raven spirit totem, which is said to represent her capacity to travel between heaven and earth. So I'm going to leave the reading there and say that I hope that it has been of some help to you. I hope that you've got something from it and that it has benefited you somehow, Pisces. Please, if you have found something of interest in it, could you thumbs it up for me? That really helps to grow my channel. If you have liked them, like my videos already, sorry, thank you very much for having done so. If you've subscribed to my channel already, thank you very much as well for having done so. And if you haven't, please could you do so, again, to help build my channel and get my messages out there. There is also that bell that you can tap to know as and when my messages will be going out, and also there is a playlist of videos that I have already put out there. I do all the full moon and the new moon, try to do both the astrology and the tarot for them, and the zodiac signs as well. So I will be putting out the love reading for Pisces next as well. If you're interested in that, that will also be going out over the next day or so. Sometimes it takes a while for them to upload, so that's my big issue, is getting them, once I've done them, actually getting them to upload. So keep an eye out for that. And also, if you feel like commenting on anything, that's really helpful for me to get some feedback as well, just to let me know whether or not it resonates with you, if it makes sense to you, if you're in that energy at this time. Please just leave me a comment and I will try and get back to you. I don't always see, because YouTube doesn't always tell me that I've got comments, same as they don't always tell me I've got subscribers, so it's only when I come to do something on the channel that I will see that that has happened. So yeah, also share as well if you feel like you know anybody who's in a similar situation and it makes sense to you for them to kind of listen, then also please could you do that as well, to try and help benefit as many people as possible. And until next time, please take really good care of yourselves, and hopefully I will see you again soon. Thank you.